Well, good morning. Trucker Todd here, and time for another video. I hope you guys can see me okay. I'm actually filming this video the night before because I'll probably be asleep when this video airs in the morning. So, on today's topic, I'm going to tell you the top 5 mistakes I made when I first started out in trucking. So, let's not waste any time. I don't anticipate this being a long video either. Let's jump right into today's topic.
And this is why I do this, why I'm out here, why I keep that hammer down. Flying by these road signs with home on my mind, with these wheels turning round. For my family and for my kids, for this life I wanna live. And this is why I do this.
Now we're back. According to YouTube statistics, only about 1/4 of you, about 25% of you, are subscribed to this channel. So make sure you subscribe. Wait a few seconds. Click that bell. Select all. That way you'll be notified about future videos. Give me a thumbs up. And don't forget to share this video on your social media platforms. Speaking of social media platforms, down in the description, my Facebook is there, my Instagram is there, even my email is there. Feel free to email me with any questions you don't want to leave in the comments below. While this video specifically is not about Dart Transit, you guys know that I really like it here. If you're ready to apply for Dart, there's a link down there where you can do that. Or if you'd like to talk to a recruiter and get specific questions like dedicated opportunities in your area, things like that. The recruiting number's down there. All I ask, please tell them you've been watching my videos and give them my driver number of 58180. And I'll really appreciate that. It helps me out, and hopefully they can help you out. Alrighty, let's not waste any more time. Let's start with number 5, doing the countdown. I looked up the average length of employment that a driver stays with the company. And it says in truck driving it's about a year. In other industries, the average length of time somebody stays with the company is 4.4 years. So there's a lot of reasons for that. We're not going to go into that so much in this video. Also, just for curiosity, I thought, well, I'll look up what the average income is, because that probably has a lot to do with turnover. The average truck driver makes $63,497 a year. And so, being that, you know, I said I've been driving 25 years. If I was an average driver, that'd be 25 jobs. Now, I've had a few. I don't think I've had that many. But one of the biggest things that, and this is number 5, but it's a big deal, that was really a big mistake for me is sometimes I let my temper or my frustration get away from me, and I quit jobs prematurely. Some of these companies I circled back around and went back to. And what happens when you do that is you've got all these bills coming in at home, and you quit maybe before you should have, before lining up another job. And then you're just looking for a job in desperation. Hey, the rent's coming due, the electric's coming due. So I didn't research companies maybe as well as I should. And there's some places I worked that had I had time to research them, I probably wouldn't have gone to work there. So number 5 for me is that I picked jobs out of desperation instead of picking a quality place to work. And fortunately, this company's been really great. I worked for Dart once before. I didn't leave because I was angry before. I left because I wasn't getting to see my grandkids, and because of where I lived, and I wanted to be around them more. Now situations have happened in my life where I don't get to see them a lot. But that was the reason I left. It had nothing to do with Dart being a bad company or me not making money or anything like that. All right, let's move on to number 4. Number 4 is health. When I started truck driving in 96, I weighed 285 pounds. I got up to, at one point, 312 pounds. I'm now down to about 245. So I still need to lose another 50 or 60 pounds. But the one thing I wish I would have done when I was young, because I started truck driving when I was 23, that was as young as I could get hired. I wish I'd have took better care of my health. Now, I had a lot of relatives nag me and lecture me, hey, you need to, while you're young, while your metabolism's high, you need to take care of these things. And I thought, oh, it'll never happen to me, or if I put on 10 or 15 pounds, I'll still be pretty healthy. But that's one thing. Number 4 is I wish I would have taken better care of my health. Number 3, I think the next thing that we need to talk about is getting in a lease prematurely. I can remember having less than a year's experience at Swift, and this is back before lease purchases really were even a thing. I can remember, I mean, they were around, but they weren't as common as they are now. I can remember driving my Swift truck, which was a very nice truck, very well equipped. It was a FLD 120 Freightliner. I can remember thinking, man, it'd be nice to own this truck one day. And I thought, man, they should just, if you drive it for so many years, they should just sign the title over to you. Now, that shows you how clueless I was. I didn't have a clue what it cost to operate a truck, what all's involved. I didn't know anything about freight lanes. I was a company driver. They sent me a load. You were expected to accept it. They said it wasn't forced dispatch, but it was real close to it. And you did your miles. I didn't have a clue. So even at that early onset, and I didn't end up doing my first lease purchase till I had almost 5 years experience. And I still didn't take it seriously or run it like I should. I don't think I had the maturity at the time. Back then I was a partier. I was pretty wild. And so I think that is number 3, is I got into the lease purchase way before I was ready as a person. And for those of you that are considering a lease purchase, you have to do a really hard look at yourself, a really good self-evaluation, and know what you're getting yourself into. If you're not there mentally, physically, financially, whatever, don't do it until you are ready. No deal is better than a bad deal. Remember that too. Don't just go to the first company that says they'll give you a pretty truck and promises you the moon. Do your research, know what you're getting yourself into. All right. The number 2 thing, this is a big one for a lot of you guys, and it was for me too. Spending. My wife and I figured out last time I was at DART for 4.5 years, we spent over $100,000 in that 4 years just eating out. And what was I doing? I was having steaks 3, 4, 5 times a week, big nice steaks. I was eating like a king. I was living like a king. But at the end of that 4 years, 4.5 years, you've got nothing to show for it. Budget yourself, save, plan for the future. Anything could happen. There's been a lot of stuff that's happened in my life the last few years that's required me to take time off, to contribute large sums of money. Wow, my tongue ain't working again. Contribute large sums of money to different things. And fortunately, I've been able to do that because I've worked for good companies and things. I've been really blessed, I ain't gonna lie. And so spending, make sure that you can be financially responsible. That was an area that, especially in 2004, when I did my first lease purchase, all the way up, I'm not even gonna lie, 2004 to 2014, for 10 years, I blew money like a rock star. I often think, my wife and I were talking one day about how much my life would have been different if I'd have spent a half that amount eating out or a quarter of that amount. For one thing, that other issue about health would be a lot different. Now I'm spending a lot more on prescription medications than what I would have had to spend had I taken care of my health and my finances. All right, let's get to number one. As I said, I'm trying to keep this short. My number one regret when it comes to trucking is that I started with small kids at home. I missed a lot of events, a few birthdays. I tried not to miss any birthdays. Definitely a lot of school events. You could point to even now some resentment that my kids have time to time for the stuff that I missed. My dad was a great provider. He was a farmer for most of my childhood, a cotton farmer. And I kind of had the mentality that if I'm working all the time, if I'm gone all the time, my kids will understand how much I love them, and that's why I'm working so hard. And it didn't really quite work out that way. If you've got small kids at home, my oldest when I started truck driving was 6 years old. My other one was 3.5 years old. And so I had really small kids at home. That presented a few problems. My wife at the time, it put a lot of burden on her. She was a young mom with 2 kids. And so it probably played a pretty big contributing factor to why that marriage ended. And so think about the impact that it's going to have on your family. Now I've got a great wife, but we don't have any kids at home either. And she's able to go with me some and stay home some. And so my life's really good right now. And I've got a lot to be grateful for. But in hindsight, I probably should have got a job with like Coca-Cola or somebody like that, where I was home every day if I was going to drive a truck. And so anyway, that's my top 5. What's your top 5? Email me or leave a comment below. When you started in trucking, what do you wish you would have done differently? All right, folks, I'm going to wrap this one up. You can tell, even though I told you good morning, it's very late here and I need to go to bed. So y'all have a great day, and hopefully I'll have a video on Wednesday for you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.